Welcome to Be My Guest with your hostess, Charlotte Cosden.
This is Charlotte Cosden, and on today's broadcast, I am interviewing an amazing singer and musician. His name is Bill Fair. Let's give a warm welcome to this man, Bill Fair. Welcome.
Thank you, Charlotte. How are you?
Now, can you just tell our radio listening audience a little bit, maybe about your background, Bill?
Yeah, sure. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I started writing my own music about 2 years ago, and I've just finished my first CD called One Way Home. So
Yes.
I'm very excited about that and all the music that God has brought out of me to share with people, and I sure hope that people are encouraged by it.
Bill, now, why do you sometimes say your music is cathartic?
I get these ideas in my head. For example, Phil, that song that you played, I was going through a rough time physically, where all of a sudden I was developing these very strange symptoms, and I was having inflammation over my whole body. It was so weird. And so I wrote down what I was feeling. Once I finished that song, I understood more about what was going on, and I was able to just really give it to God at that point. But that's the cathartic part, is just kind of getting it out of my body and out of my heart, and actually singing it. And then I feel like it's released.
Even though you grew up in the church, you didn't really understand what a personal relationship with God meant.
So I was a very religious, good kid, but I was completely missing the connection with God. I kind of felt like he was way out there in space somewhere, and I was here, and I had to do everything perfect in order to get his approval. So I really was clueless about what Jesus did and the connection that he created. So once I kind of figured that out, then it all makes sense. I knew that I didn't have to be perfect. I have a heavenly Father who's forgiving and loving and helps me, and that I can depend on. And it kind of took it from being a little bit afraid of God to being totally close and in a loving relationship with him. So it was a huge change for me once I figured that out. I used to say prayers, which, any kind of praying is great, but I would just not really speak my heart. I would just kind of say memorized prayers a lot, which, again, I think is fine. But now I feel like I can just talk to God. He hears me, and we have this friendship. Last song that I recorded on the album is Peace, and I hope people will check out that song, too, because I feel like the world is lacking in peace. So I wanted to write a song about where peace really comes from, and how we are going to have trouble here below, that's in the song, but to be sure to look up and know that there is peace available for us. We just reach out and take it.
And that's the first one I heard. That's what prompted me to call you, was that song, Peace. The whole CD is really good, but I want to thank you, Bill Fair, for coming on the broadcast, and we hope you'll come back on again with your newer songs coming out.
Well, thank you, and I would love to.
For now, I'm Charlotte Cosden. I want to thank you for being our guest.
We're so glad that you tuned in today.